Hello everyone, Dr. Alan Mandell here. If you want clearer vision, stronger eyes, and long-term protection against age-related eye problems, then today's video is exactly what you need. I'm going to show you the top foods seniors should eat, and the foods to avoid, if you want to support your retina, your macula, and the delicate blood vessels that keep your eyesight sharp. Stay with me to the end, because I'll also show you how to easily add these foods to your daily routine. Let's go! For millions of seniors around the world, vision loss begins quietly. It happens slowly, silently, almost invisibly. One day the newspaper print looks a little blurry. The next month, night driving becomes harder. Over time, the colors around you seem softer, dimmer, less alive. But what if the most powerful protection for your eyes wasn't found in a pill, a surgery, or some futuristic device? What if it was growing silently in the soil, available in every grocery store, and capable of strengthening your eyesight in ways that modern science is only beginning to fully understand? This is the remarkable truth behind leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale, collard greens, mustard greens, and Swiss chard. These foods are not just healthy, they are biochemical armor for the human eye, delivering compounds so essential, so protective, that your body specifically transports them into the center of your vision, the macula. Scientists have identified two extraordinary nutrients in these greens, lutein and zeaxanthin. These are not simple vitamins. They are carotenoid pigments, natural bioactive molecules that function like internal sunglasses. When you consume leafy greens, these pigments travel directly to your retina, where they form a protective shield against blue light, oxidative stress, and the microscopic damage that accumulates with aging. Decades of research from institutions like Harvard, the National Eye Institute, and the Journal of the American Medical Association all point to the same astonishing conclusion. Seniors who consume more lutein and zeaxanthin have a significantly lower risk of developing age-related macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of blindness in people over 60. Researchers discovered that people with high levels of these pigments had up to a 43% lower risk of developing advanced macular degeneration. That isn't a small benefit. That is the difference between reading a book with clarity and seeing a blur of faded shapes, between recognizing the face of someone you love and struggling to make out their expression, between independence and dependence. And here's where the story gets even more powerful. Your retina, one of the most delicate tissues in your body, is constantly bombarded by light and oxygen. This combination creates free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cells in the same way oxygen causes metal to rust. Every time you step outside into sunlight, every moment you stare at a screen, every exposure adds microscopic stress to your eyes. Lutein and zeaxanthin neutralize this damage like internal firefighters, extinguishing the oxidative sparks that would otherwise chip away at your vision day after day. And the most shocking fact is this: your body cannot produce these pigments on its own, not even a single molecule. The only way to get them is through food, specifically leafy green vegetables. When seniors reduce their intake of leafy greens, the levels of lutein and zeaxanthin inside the macula begin to drop. Over time, the protective layer becomes thinner, weaker, more vulnerable. But when those same seniors begin eating greens daily, even just 1 cup, the pigment density in the eye increases. Vision becomes more resilient, light sensitivity decreases, visual processing improves, and the eyes become better equipped to handle the stress of aging. Scientists call this macular pigment optical density, and it is one of the most accurate predictors of long-term eye health. Higher density equals stronger eyes, and leafy greens directly increase this density. What's even more incredible is how quickly the benefits begin. Some studies show that after just a few weeks of adding spinach or kale to the daily diet, measurable improvements in macular pigment can be detected. And after several months, protective levels become significantly stronger. This is not a slow strategy. It is not a vague idea. It is a measurable scientific transformation. But this story isn't just about protection. It's also about clarity, color, and the vibrancy of the world around you. Lutein and zeaxanthin improve contrast sensitivity, making the difference between light and dark sharper and clearer. They enhance the way your eyes perceive color, making reds more vivid, greens more lively, and the world richer and more detailed. These nutrients help your eyes recover faster from bright light exposure, meaning when you step outside into the sun or look at headlights at night, the discomfort fades more quickly. This is why seniors who consume leafy greens regularly often report that the world looks brighter, clearer, and easier to see. And yet the tragic reality is that most adults, especially seniors, consume far below the recommended amount of these protective greens. Some get less than 1 milligram of lutein and zeaxanthin per day, when research suggests the optimal range for eye protection is closer to 10 to 20 milligrams daily. That's the equivalent of 1 to 2 cups of leafy greens. Just 1 to 2 cups. Not a drastic change. Not a difficult prescription. Simply adding a handful of spinach to your eggs, a small bowl of greens with lunch, or a scoop of kale into your smoothie could be the difference between preserving your eyesight for decades or losing it slowly and painfully. And the benefits go beyond vision. Leafy greens improve blood flow to the eyes, reduce inflammation throughout the entire vascular system, support brain health, and supply crucial vitamins like A, C, E, K, and folate. Seniors who consume more leafy greens have better cognitive function, improved circulation, and reduced risk of chronic diseases that indirectly harm the eyes, such as diabetes and hypertension. But perhaps the most inspiring part of this story is that the power to protect your vision doesn't depend on doctors, medications, or expensive treatments. It depends on what you choose to put on your plate today, tomorrow, and every day moving forward. Imagine starting your morning with a simple omelet filled with spinach. By lunchtime, your macula is already receiving lutein and zeaxanthin. Imagine adding a handful of kale to your smoothie. Your retinal cells gain fresh protection against blue light. Imagine including a small serving of mixed greens with dinner. Your macular pigment thickens, and your risk of future blindness decreases. These tiny actions, repeated each day, combine into a powerful shield that protects your eyes from the inside out. The world looks different when your eyes are healthy. The sunsets look richer. The faces of the people you love look clearer. Reading becomes easier. Driving at night becomes safer. And life itself becomes sharper and more beautiful. Every meal is an opportunity to nourish the most precious sense you have, your eyesight. And the simple leafy greens waiting in your kitchen may be the most powerful vision-saving medicine science has ever discovered. For generations, we've been told that carrots are good for our eyes, but few people truly understand the extraordinary science behind this simple orange vegetable and the remarkable power it holds for seniors who are fighting to preserve their fading vision. Every year, nearly 3 million older adults begin losing their eyesight from conditions that could have been slowed or, in some cases, prevented through one simple nutrient, vitamin A. And the most potent natural source of this vision-saving nutrient is hiding in plain sight, wrapped inside the vibrant orange flesh of carrots, sweet potatoes, pumpkins, and butternut squash. These foods contain one of the most important compounds your aging eyes will ever receive. Beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant plant pigment that your body transforms into vitamin A, the vitamin responsible for helping you see in low light, keeping your cornea healthy, and preventing the painful dryness that so many seniors mistake for just getting older. But aging isn't the cause. Deficiency is. In fact, studies from the World Health Organization show that vitamin A deficiency is one of the leading causes of preventable blindness in the world. And while most people assume this only affects developing countries, research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reveals that many seniors in developed nations consume far less beta-carotene than their eyes require. The truth is shocking. As we age, our ability to absorb nutrients decreases, our diets narrow, our digestive system weakens, and our vitamin A reserves begin to drop, leaving the cornea more vulnerable, the tear ducts less efficient, and the retina less capable of capturing light. Imagine walking into a dimly lit room and struggling to adjust. Imagine headlights blinding you at night for several seconds longer than they should. Imagine turning pages in a book and feeling the strain behind your eyes almost instantly. These are not random symptoms. These are early warning signs of declining vitamin A levels. And yet, in nature, the cure is so simple it almost seems unbelievable. Just one medium sweet potato delivers over 400% of your daily recommended vitamin A. A single large carrot provides roughly 240%. Even a half cup of pumpkin supplies a powerful dose of carotenoids that your eyes can convert into the vitamin A necessary for sharper night vision, smoother blinking, and healthier retinal function. Scientists from the National Eye Institute discovered that people with higher beta-carotene intake had significantly lower rates of age-related vision decline. Another study published in JAMA Ophthalmology revealed that beta-carotene works synergistically with other antioxidants, like lutein, zeaxanthin, and vitamin C, to reduce oxidative damage to the retina, the very place where light becomes sight. When you consume orange vegetables, beta-carotene travels through your digestive tract and bloodstream before reaching the liver. There, your body decides how much vitamin A to produce based on your current needs. If your eyes are under strain, if your cornea is dry, if your retina is struggling to adapt to nighttime conditions, your body increases the conversion rate, supplying your vision with the nutrients it desperately needs. This adaptive mechanism is why beta-carotene is considered safer than synthetic vitamin A supplements. Your body controls the dosage naturally. But the protective story doesn't end there. Beta-carotene also acts as a powerful antioxidant, neutralizing free radicals that attack your eye tissues. Every time sunlight hits your eyes, every moment you look at bright screens, every exposure to pollution or oxidative stress creates microscopic injuries. Over time, these damages accumulate, leading to cataracts, corneal dryness, and degeneration. Beta-carotene steps in like a molecular shield. It absorbs the oxidative impact, prevents DNA damage, and helps the cells of your eyes repair themselves more efficiently. This is why seniors who consume more orange vegetables often report brighter vision, greater comfort, fewer episodes of dryness, and improved clarity in dim lighting. But here is where the story becomes even more astonishing. Carrots and sweet potatoes also provide other carotenoids, like alpha-carotene and beta-cryptoxanthin, that support the immune system, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation to the eyes. Poor circulation is one of the silent causes of vision loss in seniors. When blood flow weakens, the retina does not receive enough oxygen or nutrients. Over time, this starvation leads to subtle but progressive loss of visual acuity. Studies published in Nutrients found that seniors who regularly consumed carotenoid-rich orange vegetables had significantly healthier retinal blood flow and stronger microvascular function. In simple words, their eyes received more nourishment, their cells lived longer, their vision declined more slowly, and their risk of age-related macular degeneration was much lower. But this story is not just about avoiding blindness, it's about restoring vibrancy to life. When your eyes are properly nourished, colors become richer, contrast becomes sharper, reading becomes easier, driving becomes safer, daily life becomes smoother, and tasks that once felt frustrating suddenly become effortless again. And what makes this even more powerful is how easily these foods can fit into your daily routine. A handful of baby carrots as a snack, a baked sweet potato with dinner, a scoop of pure pumpkin blended into a smoothie, a roasted butternut squash soup in the evening. These simple habits deliver consistent nourishment, feeding the eyes with the carotenoids they crave. But despite this simplicity, most seniors don't consume even half the recommended amount of these vision-saving vegetables. Many rely on processed foods, white bread, sugary snacks, and low-nutrient meals that starve the eyes and accelerate aging. And the tragedy is that the decline often seems so gradual that people don't realize what's happening until it feels too late. But it's not too late. The retina is one of the most adaptable tissues in the body. The cornea heals rapidly. The tear film can be restored, and the cells responsible for night vision respond quickly, sometimes within weeks, to increased vitamin A intake. The scientific message is clear. The foods you choose today can protect your eyesight tomorrow. They can shield your cornea, nourish your retina, restore moisture to dry eyes, and strengthen your ability to see clearly in low light. And every time you pick up a carrot, every time you bake a sweet potato, every time you choose a nutrient-rich orange vegetable over a processed snack, you are performing a simple act of self-preservation. You are feeding the biological machinery that allows you to see the world, your loved ones, your memories, your moments, with clarity, confidence, and dignity. Vision is not something to take for granted, and nature has already given us the tools to protect it. The question is, will we use them? Every second of your life, your eyes are performing a miracle. Light enters through the cornea, passes through the lens, and strikes the retina. A thin, fragile layer of tissue, thinner than a sheet of paper, yet capable of converting light into electrical signals that form every image you've ever seen. But what most people don't realize is that the retina is built from fat. Not just any fat, but a very specific type. DHA omega-3, the structural fat of your photoreceptor cells. These cells allow you to recognize faces, read words on a page, see at night, and perceive the beauty and danger of the world around you. And here's the alarming truth. As you age, your levels of DHA begin to decline. The membranes of your retinal cells become weaker, your tears become thinner, inflammation rises, and the world slowly but steadily begins to blur. But science has now revealed something extraordinary. Consuming cold water fish such as salmon, sardines, trout, mackerel, and herring can supply your retina with exactly what it needs to stay strong, resilient, and functional well into your senior years. These fish are among the richest natural sources of DHA, the very molecule your eyes depend on for clarity. Researchers at Harvard found that people with the highest omega-3 intake had a 30% lower risk of age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of irreversible blindness in older adults. Another study published in Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science found that when omega-3s are abundant, the photoreceptor cells in the retina function more efficiently, respond faster, and maintain healthier electrical activity. In other words, fish doesn't just support vision, it fuels it. But the story grows darker for those who don't get enough. When DHA is low, the retina becomes more vulnerable to light damage, inflammation spreads, and the eye's ability to produce tears begins to weaken. This is why so many seniors suffer from dry eyes that feel itchy, irritated, and tired. Dry eyes are not a normal part of aging, they are a symptom of deficiency. Tears need omega-3s to maintain their oily layer, the protective film that prevents them from evaporating too quickly. Without this oily layer, the surface of the eye dries, cracks, and becomes increasingly sensitive to light. But here's the incredible part. Studies from the American Academy of Ophthalmology show that seniors who consume omega-3 rich fish at least twice a week experience significantly fewer symptoms of dry eye disease. Their tear production improves, their eyes stay moist longer, their blinking becomes more comfortable, and their risk of long-term corneal damage decreases dramatically. Imagine this on a microscopic level. When you eat omega-3 fatty acids, they are absorbed by the intestines, carried through the bloodstream, and delivered straight to the retina. Think of DHA as the building material your photoreceptors have been waiting for. Those cells immediately incorporate it into their membranes, strengthening their structure and enhancing their ability to process light. Omega-3s also reduce inflammatory compounds that would otherwise damage your eye tissues, and they support the tiny capillaries that feed your retina, improving blood flow where it matters most. Vision depends on circulation. If the capillaries in your retina become clogged or inflamed, something that happens more often with age, your eyes slowly starve of nutrients. But omega-3s help keep blood vessels flexible and open, ensuring a steady supply of oxygen and nourishment. Researchers at the National Institutes of Health found that omega-3s stimulate the production of specialized molecules called resolvins, substances that actively shut down inflammation and promote healing. This is critical for seniors because chronic inflammation inside the eye accelerates the progression of cataracts, glaucoma, and macular degeneration. With omega-3s, the inflammation calms, the tissue heals, the cells survive longer, and your vision remains sharper. But the most powerful part of this story is what happens when you make omega-3s a consistent part of your daily life. Seniors who regularly eat cold water fish often report clearer morning vision, less burning in the eyes, reduced discomfort after screen use, and improved night vision. Their eyes simply feel stronger, more lubricated, more resilient. And science backs this up. DHA is so essential that the human body transports it preferentially to the brain and eyes, even when levels are low elsewhere. But if dietary intake is too low, the body eventually runs out, and the eyes are forced to function with inferior fats, weakening the retina from the inside out. This is why omega-3 deficiency can accelerate visual aging. Yet the solution is so simple. A single serving of salmon contains over 1,500 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, more than enough to begin restoring the DHA levels your eyes depend on. Sardines, one of the most nutrient-dense foods on Earth, pack even more DHA per ounce than salmon. Trout and mackerel offer similar benefits, with high omega-3 levels and low mercury content, making them ideal for older adults. For those who don't eat fish, alternatives exist. Walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, and algae-based omega-3s offer plant-derived or vegetarian sources that can still increase DHA in the retina. But nothing matches the potency, bioavailability, and immediate physiological impact of cold water fish. In fact, a study from the Journal of Nutrition revealed that DHA levels in the retina increased significantly within just a few weeks of adding fish to the diet. That means the benefits don't take months or years. They begin almost immediately. Imagine that. Every time you take a bite of salmon, every time you eat a serving of sardines or trout, you are rebuilding the physical structure of your vision, one meal at a time, one cell at a time, one photoreceptor at a time. And these nutrients don't just protect eyesight, they protect the brain as well. DHA is the primary structural fat in the brain's gray matter, which controls memory, clarity, focus, and emotional balance. Seniors who consume more omega-3s have been shown to experience slower cognitive decline and improved mental performance. Healthy eyes and a healthy brain are deeply connected. One protects the other, one strengthens the other, and omega-3s fuel both. The tragedy is that modern diets are dangerously low in this essential fat. Many seniors go weeks or even months without consuming any DHA at all. And slowly their vision pays the price. But it doesn't have to be this way. The power to nourish your eyes, restore moisture, reduce inflammation, and strengthen your retina lies in your hands, or rather, on your plate. Adding fish just 2 to 3 times per week can transform your eye health in ways that feel almost miraculous. Because the truth is simple. Your vision is not just a reflection of age, it's a reflection of nourishment. And omega-3s are the nourishment your eyes have been silently crying out for.